How's everybody today? Hope you all are doing well. We're at the garden and we're planting cucumbers. But before we move ahead with that, I have a favor to ask. If you haven't been here, oh, did you see the lightning? Yeah, look at that sky. We got a storm incoming, so I got a whole bunch of cucumbers to plant. But before we move on with that, I got a favor to ask. Can you smash that subscribe button right over on the side of your screen? I'd really appreciate that. You can follow along all season long. We're going to be doing awesome stuff here. Right? Awesome? Thanks. You're the best. Especially all you new subscribers. Love you guys. So, here's the plan. Let me flip this camera around. Oh, another one. Awesome. I'm out in the middle of a field and we got lightning coming down. This might be a little extra special episode today. All right, so what you're looking at is the bed where we're planting all the cucumbers. So I've already dug all the holes, right? Cut the geotextile, got the holes. We have the trellis netting all installed, nice and tight. And I'm not even sure how many cucumber plants there are. There's, I don't know, 35 or something. And in the bottom of each hole, we are going to be putting in this. And this is pelletized hen manure, okay? Used coffee grinds, bone meal, and blood meal. I mixed up just a whole bunch of this at home before I left. So each hole, I've got 2 coffee containers this big and one of those big round ice cream containers. So each hole is going to get, like a good handful of this right in the bottom of the hole. And then here's our cucumbers. So they don't look very healthy. I know that. They're yellowing out because plane. Hang on. Right, as I was saying. So I started these in the greenhouse. There's 4 different kinds of cukes in here. Okay, but they're even flowering already. So I've got 4 kinds of cukes in here, but what's happened is I wanted to have these in the ground 2 weeks ago. But the cucumber beetles this year are horrendous. So what I've done is I've had to keep them in the cells, okay? But let me pull one out. Look how root bound they are. And they've used up all the nutrients in that soil. So, I mean, there's still growth tips going, see? They're still growing, but they are not happy at all. So we're putting those in the ground today. And if the cucumber beetles wipe this out, I'm just going to follow these along with fresh seeds. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the camera off. I'm going to go and I'm going to count how many holes I've planted. Or how many holes I've cut open. And then that's going to let me know how many of each type of these cucumbers I'm going to plant. So I have a rough idea of what I'm doing before I get there. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so we have 35 holes pre-cut into the ground, and we have 4 types of cucumbers. So that's 8.75 cucumbers of each variety. So we're going to round that up to 9, and then we're just going to start pulling plugs, and I'm just going to lay out all the plugs in front of each hole, and we're just going to start, looking at the sky here. It's crappy out. And then we're just going to start planting them. We're just going to run through this real fast. So we got all of the fertilizers in the hole, and these cucumbers are really going to need it. And I need them to start growing fast, because once they're planted and the cucumber beetles start coming around, see what I'm saying? Look. Makes for great filming, eh? Every 2 minutes or so, I got a big stupid jet plane flying right over top of me. So anyways, I need these plants to grow really fast once they get in the ground, because once the cucumber beetles find my plants, if they get them when they're small, they're just going to wipe my plants out. If I can get these plants growing quick enough that once the cucumber beetles find them, they won't be able to do enough damage to kill the plants. So that's the goal, right? The goal is to beat the cucumber beetles. Now, cucumber beetles have a season roughly by mid-June, the numbers really start to die down. For those of you who already have cucumbers growing, lightning, awesome. For those of you who already have cucumbers growing, if you find that you're having problems with cucumber beetles, pick your cucumbers in the evening, because when you pick your cucumbers, they release like a stress pheromone sort of deal, and that brings in those cucumber beetles. And the beetles are not active in the evening as much as they are in the daytime. So pick your cucumbers at night, and that will help you with your cucumber problem. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling plugs. And when you're planting large volumes like this, like there's 35 here, it takes a lot longer to do each hole individually. So if you do everything in sequence, you can move through things way faster. So I'm just going to start pulling plugs, and I'm going to lay a plug beside each hole. When they're all laid out, then I'm just going to go back and I'm just going to start filling them in one by one. Right, so here's what's left on the tray. We planted some Wisconsin pickling cukes, then some national pickling cukes, then some Ashley pickling cukes, and then some straight 8s. So I've never grown the Wisconsins, but I've grown the national pickling cukes. They're great. I've never grown these Ashleys, and I've never grown these straight 8s. So here is the line of cukes ready to go. So I've got all the cukes laid out. Now the easy part is just come behind them, and look at the roots on that though. They are so root bound. So I'm just going to try and fluff them up just a little bit. I don't even know if I can. Pull the stick out of that one. So the nice thing about these little plugs is they don't take much to plant, right? You just kind of make a little divot with your hand and just backfill. Take the weeds out. And we're just going to backfill them with the sand and the soil. And it's nice this way because you can just clean the top of the soil right off. Stick the little tag in like that. And I'm just going to move down to the next one, and I'm just going to keep going. Take off the junk because we don't need that. Try and fluff these roots up just a little bit. Let them know that the plant can expand. Stick that right down in there, and then just push everything all back into the hole. Like that. And then when I'm done, I'll come back and I'll just clean all of this soil off of the geotextile. Yellow leaves are dying, don't need those. Stick that down in the hole, like I said. We're just gonna backfill, cover the plug. We are not covering the stem of the plant. Certain things you can bury, certain things you can't. So I've got, see, it doesn't take long when you got the production run going. So I have all those to do. So I'll get back to you and I'll show you all when they're done. We got them all in. What do you think? You think we're gonna get lots of cucumbers this year? I hope so. They've all been really heavily watered. Give you guys a down the row shot. Bam, look at that. Lots of cucumbers. So hopefully in the next couple of days they'll green up, and we've had lots of life. We planted our bush beans here. I'm hoping more are gonna come up. Just walk you down the aisle here. So those are bush beans, and then these are pole beans to come up the trellis. They seem to be doing okay. And then the other ones are doing so. And then there's the cucamelon plant. So that's what we got going on at the moment. So I thought you guys might want an update, see what I'm doing. Okay, well, hope you guys are doing great. Grow good food. Talk to you later. See ya.